on the show tonight, the sad and shocking end to the life of the legendary marathon man Fauja Singh, who was killed in a hit and run at the age of 114. We'll discuss the killer Indian roads and what can be done to bring down the road death accidents. Later on the show, the horrific death of a student in an Odisha college who self-immolated herself after her complaints against a professor remained unanswered by the college administration. 24-year-old Soumya Shri suffered 95% burns and died last night. Why are even campuses not safe spaces for women is what we ask on the show tonight. But first up, Fauja Singh, a name that made India proud across the globe, an icon who proved that age is no barrier to fitness, a marathon legend is no more. Not because of age, not because of illness, but because of recklessness on our roads. Killed in a hit and run case. Just pause and think. A man who ran marathons across continents, who ran for life, for fitness, for hope, met his end because someone could not follow the basic rule of responsibility on the road. This is not just an accident, this is a failure of law, a failure of enforcement, and a failure of conscience. How many more names will we add to this growing list of hit and run victims? Names that matter and names that you and I will never know. What emboldens these drivers to flee? Weak laws? Is it poor policing? Or a culture that tells them that you can get away? Tonight we remember Fauja Singh not just as a victim of a crime, but as a reminder of what needs to change. A nation that celebrates its heroes cannot allow them to die on the roads like this and then move on as if nothing happened. Before I bring in the guests, here's a report.
In a world chasing speed and youth, one man at age 114 taught us that endurance has no age limit. Fauja Singh, the world's oldest marathon runner, born in 1911 in a small village in Punjab, Fauja Singh didn't walk until he was 5. He was frail and thin, unlikely to ever be an athlete. Fauja moved to the UK in the 1990s. Life threw him a brutal blow in 1994. The loss of his wife, daughter and a son within months. At 81, many would give up, but Fauja started running. His first marathon at age 89. London, Toronto, New York, he conquered them all. At 100, he completed the Toronto Waterfront Marathon, 42 kilometers at a century.
देखिए जी, ये मेडल देखो ना, क्या मेडल, अभी तो इंग्लैंड में मेडल है, एक थोड़ी है, हजारों मेडल है, देखो कितना है, किस किस की याद करूं मैं। ये महारानी एलिजाबेथ है, इसके घर जाते थे, ये देखो सारे मेडल्स हैं, कौन कौन सा गांव पंजाब में की, दिल्ली में की, इधर देखो सारे।
A devout Sikh, Fauja Singh credited his strength to faith, a vegetarian diet and simplicity.
इस चीज़ बगैर बच नहीं सकता, मेरा शरीर नहीं बच सकता, मेरा शरीर ना ठीक रहिंदा। बिल्कुल मैं थोड़ा खाना हूं ते एक ट्रेनिंग करदा, एक मेरा बड़ा खड़ा खुश रहन दिया।
Fauja Singh didn't just run marathons. He outran stereotypes, grief and time itself. His spirit was timeless. A dream run brutally cut short by a tragic accident. The turbaned tornado was killed in a hit and run in Jalandhar.
इधर से गाड़ी आ रही थी भोगपुर तरफ से, वो रोड क्रॉस करने लगे, गाड़ी ने जोर से हिट किया उनको। जब बॉडी उनकी ऊपर पहले उछली तो नीचे गाड़ी से हिट होकर जहाँ पर सर गिरी, ये जो ब्लड का स्पॉट बना हुआ है यहाँ पे, सर में ज़्यादा चोट होने के कारण जो डॉक्टर साहब ने उनको एक्सरे वगैरह लिए, स्कैनिंग की उनकी, और उनकी जो पसलियाँ वो टूट चुकी थी, उन्होंने बताया एक्सरे में।
We are collecting the data, CCTV footage from the various spots, and we are analyzing that. I have deputed the various teams under the supervision of a SP detective to trace the case. We have collected some physical evidence from the spot also. Some parts have been recovered, and we have sent those parts to the concerned agencies or experts to analyze that. And we will crack this case soon.
As news of the death broke, tributes poured in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called him an exceptional athlete with incredible determination. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, AAP Chief Arvind Kejriwal and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi paid homage to Fauja Singh. In a world chasing material things, Fauja Singh ran for something greater. Hope. Today, the turbaned tornado may have stopped, but his spirit will keep running forever.
Let's bring in the guests now. Anurag Kulshetra is a road safety expert. We have Harman Sidhu, who is the founder of Arrive Safe. And he in fact survived a fall of about 50 feet after he met with a road accident. Gautam Singh is Associate Director, Save Life Foundation. We also have Dr. Sunita Gudara, Asian Marathon Champion. Dr. Sunita, you know, it's heartbreaking to even imagine that man who was so much into fitness, even at the last minute that he passed away, he was actually on the road walking.
See, it's quite, it's very, very tragic that like a person like Fauja Singh, who was the driver who could not see him, crossing the road, and he see his age also. So people are not sensitive, just driving and thrashing the person. That's very tragic. I met him recently in Hansali Marathon. He was, I was the brand ambassador and he was the special guest over there. Very humble person. Secondly, few years back, I met him in Lahore Marathon. I was also running Lahore Marathon and he was also in the running, and we chit chat, and many times in like Jaipur Marathon, I met him. He was beside my room only. So I have met his son also. They are such down to earth people, so nice, always going for sporting events and inspiring others. Because at his age, what he was doing, when I met him a few months back, just 6 months back, he was fit and fine, And such person goes away like this, it's really very sad, very sad.
Absolutely. Anurag, while we express sadness over what has been an extremely tragic incident, but the fact is that in India, the number of deaths because of these road accidents is only rising. For all the highways that are being constructed, it's about safety. Road safety continues to be a matter of huge concern.
Yeah, well, Maria, this is a great loss to the nation. But simultaneously, I want to say one thing. Because recently in the month of, I think, May, Supreme Court has instructed all the state governments about to provide the pedestrian facility everywhere. And this is and they have clearly mentioned it is a fundamental right under Article 21. But seriousness of this, I'm telling you one thing, Road Safety Board is pending in central government for last so many years. Supreme Court has instructed to construct within 6 months. This is a seriousness of central government. And along with this, I'm telling you about the Delhi and the NCR also. Almost 20% footpaths are available in entire Delhi, and out of the available footpaths, 90% footpaths are not walkable. They are encroached, they are broken, they are having the vegetation, trees and everything. So all the governments, all the states governments are senseless about this to create the fundamental right to the entire people. And second thing, on the like Sunita was telling very clearly that he was crossing the road on the highway. Of course, this is not the place to move on the highways as a walker, but driver was unable to see the divider's vegetation. It was almost 4 to 5 feet height. If a driver is coming at a speed of 60, 70, 80, can definitely unable to see the any person crossing the road from the median.
Yes.
So this is a violation of IRC codes. Central
Yes.
government is NHAI is doing the violation of NHAI this IRC codes everywhere. Yes, please.
Yes. So that's why Gautam Singh, the concern here is that even if he is walking, highway or no highway, how can a person just come hit an elderly man and run away?
Yeah, extremely tragic, Maria, and right, what the panelists were saying, right to walk and right to have safe pedestrian facilities has been now recognized as a fundamental right. In fact, the law also provides several provisions for such guidelines to be followed. Now the impetus lies with the road owning agencies, both at the central and state level, and most importantly, our enforcement agencies. The pedestrians account for about 70% of all deaths. There are 450 people dying every day, and close to 20 Fauja Singhs will pass away by the time this show is over, Maria. So there's so much to be done. We have statutes in place. All we need is people to read them and take them seriously. The pedestrian designs and other VRU facilities that need to be on the road get accounted for at the time of initiation of projects, but then get lost somewhere down the road by the time these highways or any other road for that matter is constructed. You have brilliant codifications in the country. All you need is a strict enforcement. Now the law also provides for punitive punishments and penalties on people who violate design, construction and maintenance standards. So very unfortunate that a person who survived world wars, epidemics like COVID, had to ultimately lose his life to a road crash.
Details have started emerging in this case with regards to investigation, and I'll ask the producer to put that out and request perhaps also the reporter who will be giving us more details and updates on this. The Fortuner vehicle that hit Fauja Singh has been identified. In fact, the Fortuner vehicle's registration number has been identified as well, and key clues have been found from CCTV footage and broken headlight fragments. Multiple police teams are actively searching for the accused, and an FIR has been registered at Adampur police station under BNS, which is the new name of the laws, section 281 and 105, and the investigation has begun immediately. So Herman, perhaps you can give us details of these sections 281 and 105.
See, I would like to add here that section 106 2 in bracket of BNS, that should be added, because that is specifically for these cases where people hit and run away from the accident site. So it has a provision of 10 years of punishment. So I would definitely talk to the SSP Jalandhar to make sure that the section is added as and when the culprit is caught. Because there are two things. One is not having the pedestrian facilities, which is, let's say, fault on the part of the National Highway Authority of India, which is the owning agency. And second, on the part of the driver, who intentionally left the gentleman to die on the road, so which should never happen. So with these kind of...
So are you saying that these present sections of the FIR are weak in nature, 281 and 105?
Relatively, yes, because they also this needs to be added. It's specifically for this particular reason, right, for hit and run cases. So this was added in the BNS, and after a long fight, we were able to ensure that at least there's a punishment of 10 years in such cases.
Okay,
Or maximum of 10
so
years.
if these are weak sections, then Gautam Singh, what should be done? I mean, the entire investigation is beginning with an FIR with very, very weak sections.
Maria, the FIR definitely is the one crucial part that will pave way. Unfortunately, road crashes have become a very normal part of our lives. We have accepted that if we step on the road, something will happen. Given the statistics, almost everyone here would know someone in the family or friends who've lost lives or been seriously injured and disabled. Now, the law provides, Maria, for forensic investigation of crashes under the Motor Vehicles Act. Unfortunately, none of the states, and except a few exceptions, a few districts where a crash is being investigated in a scientific manner to ascertain not just driver's fault, who was speeding, of course, what has been the engineering fault, what has been the enforcement gap. Should there have been speed calming measures as provided by the law? Should there have been electronic and physical enforcement to check on speeding instances? Should there have been a post-crash response that had come in handy if the platinum 10 minutes and golden 60 minutes would have been met to save the life of that person who was injured? So all of this has to come together and not just one FIR and one simple investigation.
No, but I'm looking at section 281 under which this FIR has been registered at Adampur police station. It says that it deals with rash or negligent driving or riding on a public way. It penalizes anyone who drives or rides in a way that endangers human life and is likely to cause hurt. In this case, the person has lost his life, he's dead. The punishment for this offence can be imprisonment for up to 6 months, a fine of up to 1,000 rupees. I mean, isn't this ridiculous to say the least?
Unfortunately, there are very limited provisions right now in the law. Maria, you are absolutely right, and Amanji was also right. There has to be...
And the other one, section 105, is punishment for culpable homicide not amounting for murder. Gurpreet Chinna is joining us. Let me bring him in. Gurpreet, give us the latest in terms of investigation.
Well, we have seen the police have already procured CCTV camera footage from the various locations on this highway from Pathankot to Jalandhar, but finally we have seen some broken pieces of Toyota Fortuner. They were able to get from there. They have sent these broken pieces to the company, and finally they are able to trace the vehicles. No further investigation will be taken place, but as of now, we have seen the top police officer. They have already confirmed they are able to get the registration number of the vehicle, and now they will process further. They will proceed further for the further investigation. Back to studio.
Okay, Gurpreet, before I let you go, a word also on this Fortuner, which allegedly hit Fauja Singh. Do we know it is who is the owner of it, and was there one person or multiple people, because CCTV footage has been accessed?
Actually, this is one of the main reasons why there is a delay in investigation. We have seen on the highway, the police was not able to get the proper footage of this vehicle, but they have got this broken piece of this vehicle that has been sent to the company, and after that they are able to trace this vehicle registration number. As of now, even the police is not aware who was driving this vehicle, and we had a word with the top police officer. They say it's the part of investigation. We are already investigating and trying to find out, but we are trying to procure the CCTV camera footage from toll plaza to confirm who was on the driving seat at that point. So let's wait for the police investigation. After that, there will be more clarity.
All right, let me go back to the guests. And Anurag, come in now in terms of the investigation.
Yeah, actually, frankly, our police personnel, they are unable to investigate any crash perfectly. They are just giving the one line answer. This is the basically speeding case, hit and run case, and basically the driver's flees from the way. One thing is very clear when I'm going through that particular scenario of the spot. This must be investigated as per the infrastructural point of view also. I have seen very clearly there is a huge vegetation on the median. It was around 4 to 5 feet as per IRC codes. They are claiming, NHAI is claiming it must be around 2.5 feet maximum, including the divider's height. So I think this angle must be included also into that, because due to this vegetation, high level vegetation, when he was crossing the road, in between the driver is unable to see him properly, and it's perfectly, recently one court has given the judgment because the pedestrian was not on the proper zebra crossing, so drivers are not at fault. Ultimately, maybe in this case also judge can go through that such type of judgment. So I think NHAI must be accountable for this also, and it must be investigated as per the infrastructural point of view also, because how much the visibility over there and why the drivers was unable to see him. And number
so then
three,
in that case, Anurag, will there be a different set of sections in the FIR? If the visibility is decent, if there are no trees, and the roads are straight, and there are no problems with the roads and infrastructure, then there will be a different set of FIR. The culpability will be stronger.
Everything must be accountable, because on our highways there's no footpath nowhere in this country. And recently Supreme Court has instructed the central government as well as all the state governments and union territories to focus on the footpath facility, unobstructed footpath. Court has mentioned very clearly unobstructed footpath. So I think our governments, they don't know what is the definition of the footpath and what is the definition of the IRC code in case of visibility on our highways. So I think different, because Mr. Gadkari has announced number of times in number of his speeches that our engineering fault is responsible for this. Yes, this is engineering fault. Also, if visibility is poor, NHAI is responsible for this, for such type of deaths.
Okay, let me give the last word to Dr. Sunita. Dr. Sunita, really heartbreaking, this tragic death of Fauja Singh. We are certainly hoping that there will be justice in this case. The person who actually hit him, killed him, deserves the harshest of punishment.
First of all, whatever Mr. Anurag has said, in addition to that,
yes,
the punishment should be harsher, you are right. Secondly, hit and run means the person was so insensitive, the driver was so insensitive that he must have seen once he hit the person, then he should have stopped. So one, the person who is hitting the person and running away must be punished harshly. And if there are NHAI fault, whosoever is at fault, they should be booked in this case, because person is now no more. So it's like a murder, whether it is accidental murder or whatever, but it is a murder. So everyone who has done the mistake, whether it is maybe the transport or the road safety people, whosoever, no, they should be booked for the punishment. And the 6-month punishment, 10 years punishment is not enough. If the person has killed while driving, they are so insensitive, so they should be punished harshly. Deterrent punishment is required for such people who hit and run. Means they are totally animal people, insensitive people. Kisi ko maar ke aur bhag jana is like a murder.
Absolutely. Dr. Sunita Gudara, really appreciate your time. Gautam Singh, Harman Sidhu and Anurag Kulshetra.